Hello, welcome to Unit 2, Lesson 2, Graphing Linear Inequalities in Two Variables, Part 2. In this cool down, it says, to raise money for after-school programs at an elementary school, a group of parents is holding a weekend of games in a community center. They charge $8 per person for entry into the event. The group would like to earn at least $600 after paying for the cost of renting the space, which is $40 an hour. So question 1 says, if X represents the number of entry tickets sold and Y, the hours of space rental, which inequality represents the constraint to the situation? So if we think about this situation, the first thing we have to think about is how much money they're charging per person and how much money are they being charged per hour to rent the gym or the community center. So that is where the 8x minus 40y comes in. So $8 per person, $8 per person, $40 per hour. Now, it also says that they want to earn at least $600. So we need to ask ourselves, which inequality symbol would satisfy that part that is at least? So the first one is less than $600. So if we earn less than $600, then we would not be earning at least $600. The next one is less than or equal to. The same thing applies. It's not going to satisfy it. If we earn more than $600, that would partially satisfy it, but we could also earn exactly $600. So that means our correct answer is D. The next part says the line is the graph 8x minus 40y equals 600. So that's what this black line represents. It says to select all the points whose x, y values represent the group reaching the fundraising goal, and then to explain or show your reasoning. So let's take a look at 110. So this is point A. What we could do is a quick solution test to make sure it satisfies our goal. So to do that, I'm going to plug in 100 for x and 10 for y. So we have 8 times 100 minus 40 times 10. And we want that to be greater than or equal to 600. So we have 800, oops, that should be 40, minus 400 is greater than or equal to 600. Well, 800 minus 400 is 400. So we can see that this indeed is not a solution because 400 is less than or equal to 600. Okay, then I can go ahead and also look at point B. Now, in our lesson previously, we talked about boundary lines and the importance of boundary lines. Now, it's kind of hard to tell right off the bat if this is going to be a solid or a dashed line because it's the line of the equation. So equation lines are always solid. So we can't really look at that. But we can look at the equation that we decided was the correct equation. And we saw that was greater than or equal to. So that tells us that the ordered pairs that fall on the boundary line are going to be possible solutions. So this is a solution because it falls on the boundary line. So we know point B is a solution. So the last one is point C. Now there's a couple of different ways that we could look at this. One is you could just straight up do a solution test and test to see if when you plug 205 in for x and y and then subtract those if it's greater than or equal to 600. Another way to reason it out, though, is if you know everything above the boundary line is not a solution because that's where point A is, that means everything below the line must be a solution. So this, again, is a solution. And we know this because if everything above the line is not a solution, then everything below the line is. If everything is not a solution, then everything below the line is. But again, you could have also plugged in 205 and gotten 1600 minus 200 to get 1200, and 1200 is greater than 600. The last question asks us to complete the graph so that it represents the solutions to an inequality that represents this situation. So we definitely, like I mentioned above, want to use a solid line. So I'm just going to say this should be solid. And then I'm going to shade below the line because that's where our solutions are. All right, thanks for watching.